Hey everybody, this is Tambeyoda and I'm back with another Transformers video review. And once again, it may look like the RC video, but this is not, because he uses the same box. This is actually Titan Master Grotusque, and he was a surprise. So at New York Comic Con, they actually revealed this figure, and then at the same time that they revealed the figure, Hasbro Toy Shop released the figure to purchase, and it caught a lot of people off guard. This did not sell out quite as fast as RC did. RC sold out, some places say half an hour, some places say an hour. This guy took almost about 3 hours. Let's go ahead and get this open. As you can see, like before, there is a tape on the box, and I've already cut that open. Bring this open, and just like the RC box, there's no real way to tell one figure from the other. Maybe by this stamp. You may be able to tell by this stamp. I don't know if RC has that stamp on there. She does have that stamp. It is a different stamp. So RC stamp is 7-1. I think that's an 841. Yeah, 71841. And then the stamp for this guy, for Grotusque, is 72211. And usually these are date stamps. That's usually what they like, production date stamps, but everything else is exactly the same. See, it says 3 figures, 2 accessories, 2 collector's cards, and instructions. That's exactly what it says on RC. So let's go ahead and open up the box. So I do have 2 Grotusques, so let me double check that Grotusque and make sure it's the same serial number on there. So as you can see, this one, his tape is sealed. So let's see here. Oh, that says 72331. So yeah, no, that's not gonna work. So I know with masterpieces and such that those are usually stamped on. Oh wow, I got a cut up here. That those stamped on pieces right here usually indicate what's in the box, or what date it was produced. So let's see here. The only other thing that I can see on here that's different are the barcodes. So for Grotusque, it says C3541, and then you have this barcode right here, and then for RC you have the 73542 and that barcode right there. Let me double check with my other Grotusque. 73541 or C3541. And barcodes, yeah, barcodes. So that's, I guess that's going to be the way that you'll tell the difference between these 2 figures, and if there's any other releases in these boxes later on. So if you don't open it, you can take a look at those barcodes if you know what you're looking for. So you open this up, and you can see here we have the art cards, and I assume that the bios are on the other side. And you come in here and you see that there's a fire blast symbol right here, or the firepower symbol. So, like I said, I assume that these are the two of the figures that were supposed to be in the 5 box sets that weren't released. These are supposed to be the Titan Master, the metal Titan Master, and the deluxe figure. So we have Grotusque with Fangirl and Scorponok here. So this is the artwork on the inside. And that's some nice artwork. I really do like this Ken Christensen artwork that we get on all of these things. And I assume this is Ken Christensen because he's been doing a lot of the artwork for especially for these cards and such. So I think that this is all Ken Christensen. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it does look like they fixed all of the preliminary pictures that we saw. It showed Grotusque as being a Decepticon. It looks like they fixed that with the actual release. So you have the Autobot symbol here, and you still do have the Autobot symbol on his shoulder, which was what they had before. So you have Grotusque here. Man, I like the way he looks. He looks awesome. This was actually a figure that I had whenever I was growing up. And so whenever I saw him, I was like, man, this is a must-have. So I actually got I got 2 of them. I got the minimum that they would allow us to get. So, and then here is Scorponok over here. So I don't know if anybody has tried it yet. I know a couple years ago with the Pirates set, they had a Scorponok that was a headmaster, and I'm kind of curious to see whether he fits in there. I know I don't have my Scorponok anymore, but maybe if somebody has him, maybe they can shed some light on that. If he doesn't fit, then I'm pretty sure that somebody out there will make a Shapeway set to take the where you can just exchange out the neck piece so that you can put him on there. But cool. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna take a little bit of a pause and crack this bad boy open so we can check out the figures. Alright, so I'm back, and here I have Grotusque out of the box and in his robot mode, which is the mode that he's in the box. So as you can see, I have him holding his weapon, and I have him holding it in the 2-barrel configuration because that's how the G1 figure actually, that's how his gun was. It was a double-barrel gun. I kind of wish that it would have been in the middle, the handle, but I can understand because that's how Twinferno's gun came. So you can't really get onto a figure's downfalls because of the previous figure's constructions. As you can tell, he is a highly retooled Twinferno. He has a lot of new parts. Basically, the only same parts are the legs and the wings. Oh, and the gun. So, legs, wings, guns. That's it. That's all the same. I think the panel for the body, I think that's the same too. But inside the box, we do get a couple of things. So here is Scorponok, and once again, it's that same mold for the body and the head. Only thing that's different is the Titan Master portion. So the head portion of the Titan Master. Like I said, I'd like to see if anybody is able to put this on the BotCon. Because a few years ago there was that pirate set that came with a Scorponok. So. But yeah, once again, from what I can tell, the body portion, that portion, and the head back here are the only parts that are actually. Gosh, the heads are always hard to turn because of the metal for the chest. That's all. That's it's metal, not the legs or anything like that. So, oops. All right. It does also come with his little tech spec card. So here is Scorponok, and here's his attributes or his different tech specs here, and you can tell his firepower is a 10. That's it's pretty high for for a Titan Master. And then here we have Grotusque, and you flip that back, and actually his intellect is really high. That's kind of surprising. I was expecting the firepower to be higher, but his intellect is really, really, really high. So here's the instructions once more, and let's see if they have them in here. Yeah, so they have the tech spec data along with a little bio snippet. So here you go. You can be able to read this at your own leisure. And there's his Titan Master's bio. And here is the bio snippet for Scorponok. So, alright. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get on to the figure. So I do have his counterpart, which is Twin Furno. That's his mold sharing partner. And I do have him in his monster monster bot form right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll show how to transform Grotusque, and we'll show off that, and then we'll turn around, transform him back into his robot mode, and we'll do some comparisons there also with Twin Furno, and then we'll have our final thoughts. So, first of all, what we need to do is we'll remove the gun, and we'll set that off to the side. And we want to remove the head. And here's the head right here. It's half decent. It's not too bad. It reminds me of the original. You open this up, and here is the Titan Master. And dude, that's a lot of detail for that head, and there's a lot of paint. Why won't they do this for the rest? Oh my gosh, dude, it's so easy. I just wish they would spend a little bit more time with these guys. Oh man, he looks so good, and apparently they're supposed to be saying that this may be what is it? An homage to a Battle Beast, because in Japan, Battle Beast and Transformers were kind of together at one point in part of their story arcs. So, yeah, they're saying that him and let me see real quick. So they're saying that Repugnus is supposed to be Goldar, not from Power Rangers, but from Beast Former line. So Fangor, he originally was supposed to be White Leo, but it looks like they changed their color scheme and head base to actually a different beast, Platinum Tiger. So, like I said, Repugnus is supposed to be Goldar. I don't know if at any point they're going to release White Leo, but we'll see. So, yeah, man, I really like this figure. There's a couple of things, and I'll get to them in a little bit. But first things first, let's bring the head up. So, the head, you can pull this back just a little bit, and it rotates around. It rotates around, comes to here, and we take this jaw section, and we flip this out, and flip this up. So this will flip up, and you'll see that there's a notch here, and we have our tabs here. See right there and right there. So I'm going to push these together, and a lot of the pictures that I've seen, it's just been like this, and this looks really bad. But what you want to do is you fold this down, and you want to tab this in together, and it looks way better like this. So you can still open his mouth. Only issue is that he has no articulation in the head with this. So now you want to come to arms. So arms, you want to flip in the fist, twist it around, and then flip out the claw like this. Okay, do that for the other side. These claws, I've had a tendency with them to pop off, especially this one right here. If you don't do it right, it'll pop off real easily. So, flip that forward. And now, basically what we have is Twinferno's bottom half. So it's going to be exactly the same. So you take, lift this up a little bit, flip this out. Once you flip that out, then it will rotate around like this. And flip this forward like that. Rotate the leg out like that. Flip the foot forward. And then we'll do the same thing with the other side. So do that. Rotate it around. Kind of flip this in a little bit. Take and rotate the foot around. Flip that out. Flip the bottom portions of the tail out. Squeeze this together, squeeze this together, squeeze this together. Tail doesn't like to stick. Oh well. So, let's get this guy standing. Kind of fiddle around with him a little bit. Alright, that should be good. So if you open this up, kind of bring this like this, open this up, then your Titan Master goes inside here. So this right here will tab into this little hole in the seat. Like that, and you close that down, and that's where he pilots Grotusque or just rides along with them. And then you take the gun, and the gun, just like the original toy, pops on back here. So I don't know if they ever had this figure in mind for Twinferno, but it has a lot of features that fit in well with Grotusque. So. And so now he is in his alt mode. Not too bad. I have to say, it's not too bad. Definitely seen worse. Like this guy. But it's good to have another, man. So this guy makes me want to keep this guy. And something I didn't notice before is the saw blade that's down here. That's the same saw blade that they had in the G1 figure. So there's a button on the back of this guy that you would press, and it would kind of spin the saw blade and it would spit out sparks. Well, it's the same thing that you would do with this guy right here. There was a button in the back you would press, and it would open the mouth and spit out sparks. So, man, what would it do for those kind of gimmicks nowadays? Gosh. So, man, I like it. I like it. He likes to fall down, but that's alright. So, we'll go ahead and transform him back into, man, dude, I don't want to, I like him. I hate this portion right here. I like this head. It's very, very, very reminiscent. It brings back nostalgia giddy to me. Because this was kind of one of one of my other favorite Transformers that I had, just because he had the sparks on him, and I didn't know anybody that. None of my friends had him, so it's the only kid on the block that had Grotusque. I don't even remember getting him. I just remember having him. So maybe he was another one of those Transformers that I stole from my brother. So. Alright, so let's go ahead and get him back into robot mode. Alright, close that up. This back. So we got the legs back, and we'll go ahead and help focus at the top, because the legs are kind of, like I said, they're the same as Twin Inferno, but it's not until you get up here that things are a little bit different. So once again, you want to flip up these claws. Just be careful that you don't pop them off, because they're real easy, or at least on mine it's real easy. Flip around the arm. Okay, here it is. Here's the little notch to bring out the fist. So once again, we'll bring that around, flip that in. Here's our notch right here to bring out the fist. Looks pretty good like this too. Just hunch him over a little bit. That's not too bad of a look. So we'll bring this back and we'll bring this down. So this down and fold this in. I kind of wish it would go in a little bit further. I think maybe if you shaved off a little bit right here, you might be able to push it in a little bit more. But I wish it would go in a little bit more, at least so it was like this and it was straight, instead of it being kind of pointing down, because this is the chest detail. This goes down here, and this tab right here then tabs into where the gun's tabbed into. There you go. So with that tabbing into there and covering up that port for the guns, we actually have, if you split apart the guns, you can take and tab in the guns to the side of his head. The only... Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, here we go. No? That's supposed to be this. Doesn't want to stick now. There it goes. Only issue that you have is if you push them in there, you end up getting stress marks right there. So, but really, I'm not going to put that there. You could also tab them into the wings if you wanted to. As for me, I will leave them together. This can become a turret for your guy. So you just push them in like that, and it's a gun turret. But like I said, I'm going to keep it like this, because this is how I remember the gun for the original. So we'll get him. Let's see what it looks like with Scorponok on there. Scorponok. it kind of matches a little bit. It's a little off on the colors, but it'll go. So, final thoughts real quick, and articulation. So we come here. Oh, Twinferno. So, here's Twinferno again. Let me bring him in. And as you can see, looking at the legs, basically it comes up to here, and that's the same. They did some of the same molding on here, but it's the same design that they used for the side right here, but you can definitely tell that it's a different molding, because this piece right here does not flip up, and it comes up, and you can see that this is completely different right here. There's not a second piece that creates the arms, and the arms are completely different. The only thing that's the same are the wings here. So even part of the backpack, the way it connects, the way the wings connect to the back, is different. But if you look at the design, I think, let's see if I can get this up. The design is almost kind of the same, where you have the spine design right here that goes along the back, but then it's something completely different up here. And then the way that the guns connect in, it's a little bit farther. It's a little bit more synced in. So. But man, I do enjoy this guy. He has a lot of color in him. Like I said, there's a few nitpicks about this guy. One of them being this part right here. I wish that this would push in all the way. I wish that this was push in all the way, but it doesn't. And then with his feet, really, that's one of the major letdowns of this mold. And then what I mentioned with the gun, but that's also in with the mold itself, so it's not something that's new. That could have been different like this, but all the color in it, I really appreciate color in paint. A little bit more effort goes a long way with figures like this. So for articulation here, you come to the arms. You have a one joint that basically allows you to move it forward like this, and there's a secondary joint. It's a pin joint that allows you to move out. So they did think about the articulation in this, and they've created a kind of a panel flap here, so you can actually go and bring the arm up all the way to here. But I think if you're doing poses, you're not going to bring it all the way up to there. But that's as far as you can get with that. So basically, it's so that you can move the arm out like that. You have your twist here. You have your elbow. There's nothing in the wrist. You come down here, there's nothing in the waist. The hips, there's two different joints. So you do have this panel so that you can flip up so that you can move the leg forward. So you can go back, and then there's a pin to go out to the side. It's kind of squeaky. Then you have a twist, then you have a knee. And your knee goes pretty deep into there because of transformation. And then you can twist the foot. I don't think there's any rocking, basically. You can detach this and you can go out to the side, but that's mainly transformation. So, but yeah, that'll go ahead, and really that'll do it for this video review. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. You can also find me on Facebook. This has been Tambeyoda. I'll see you guys next time.